So you can lead this one, Kurt, because he's your man. We're now talking about John Carpenter finally gets a star.
Honestly, after Gal Gadot, right? So Gal Gadot got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame before the greatest director of all time. I don't care what anyone says. John Carpenter, no one deserves a star more than this guy. Get it off the screen.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Kal-El, no.
She only just did Wonder Woman. I think they've trashed. Did you say they've trashed a star?
I don't know if the photo is fake, but I've seen it all smashed up. It looks like someone's like.
I think because she's Israeli. I think that's what it is.
Maybe, yeah.
Kal-El, no.
But I'm just talking about acting wise now, right? I don't care about any of the other shit.
No,
acting wise. There's another bit as well from Death in the Nile, which is like, enough champagne to fill the Nile. It's awful.
Poor girl.
But I was absolutely chuffed when I heard that my favourite guy in the world is getting his star. Keith David was there, Kurt Russell, they did great speeches. I watched the ceremony. It was fantastic and absolutely fair dues to the guy. What I've always loved about John Carpenter is that he's never chasing his previous hits. So he follows up Halloween with The Fog. He could have easily gone back into that slasher genre that he basically started and cashed in on his own win. And no, he just constantly kept pushing the envelope, constantly developing new ideas, different ideas, and movies that he wanted to do, not what people wanted him to do. And he has had one of the greatest careers in horror. It's been one of the most long-lasting careers, spanned over 20 years. Yes, the later half of his career is quite weak, but a few of those movies that I didn't like when I was young, like Vampires and not Ghost of Mars, there's a few that I've rewatched as an adult and I've got more of an appreciation for. I love Body Bags.
I like Body Bags.
It's loads of fun.
I tried to watch Ghost of Mars and I struggled with it. It was the one with Ice Cube.
Yeah.
That's crap.
Yeah, and Jason Statham. But this guy is responsible for giving us some of the most iconic movies. Forget horror, I'm talking just movies, because his horror movies are so well done, they're so inspired that you can put them into any bracket. He is not a schlocky director. He isn't someone that just chucks out horror movies for a quick scare. He delivers Oscar-winning, or Oscar-worthy, I should say.
Yes.
Oscar-worthy movies time after time with the stamp that he puts on every movie. You've got the cinematography, the lenses, the movies, the scripts, the actors, everything. Nobody deserves a star more than this guy, and I can't believe it's taken him this long, honestly.
You know, The Thing is one of the greatest horror movies ever. It has some of the best practical effects ever. It's quite hard to believe it was made in 1982. It's bonkers.
Yeah, it's mental.
He creates great characters. You got Snake Plissken now. He's so
Snake
fucking
Plissken.
cool. You know, like as crap as like Escape from LA is, cause Kurt's in it, you can rewatch it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't, to be honest, because I love Escape so much. In my John Carpenter ranking, I put it above Halloween, right? Way above Halloween. I looked up to this guy when I was a kid, right? I had Escape from New York. It was probably one of the first John Carpenter movies I'd seen. I had it on VHS when I was a kid. And Snake Plissken is one of the greatest characters created ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a character.
Do you know, right, when I was putting together these photos now for this, right, I put up, I want to put up like Thing, and I thought, what else I could put up? Escape from LA. I forgot he did Halloween. That's how good he is. I thought, oh yeah, that's enough. I forgot about Michael Myers.
With Halloween, because this spawned such a big franchise, it's become its own entity.
Yeah, you forget it's him.
Well, I don't, because I'm a top fan, but I agree with you that Halloween has become bigger than John Carpenter himself. Do you know what I mean? It's become its own entity. But look at that lineup as well. Greg Nicotero.
I mean, Greg Nicotero is a proper like rock star. I know he's got the long hair, but he looks like a British rock star, like somebody from Led Zeppelin.
He's awesome.
Well, so does Tom Savini. He's like a rock star as well, isn't he?
Yeah. But look at that lineup. These guys have given us some of the greatest movies in horror history. Outside of John Carpenter as well, Greg Nicotero has had an insane career. He's worked on some of the best horror movies. He's still going today.
Yeah.
He's probably at the forefront of keeping practical effects going. Yeah. You know, he's the one pushing it. Obviously, Keith David and Kurt Russell are legends themselves.
it's funny, like, because I love Walking Dead. I used to love it. I fell off a cliff by like season 8, but I was in awe of this special effects. I know Greg Nicotero was creating them or certainly overseeing them.
Yeah.
And you're talking some of the greatest zombie makeup you could ever have.
Oh God, yeah.
And yeah, to see him up there with sort of John Carpenter, you just know that this guy, everybody knows in the horror world, John Carpenter is the
Oh, do
epitome
you
of a
know
horror director.
that name, just John Carpenter? And here's my little homage. I don't know if you can see that, guys. I've got one of. See, you're making fun of me for picking The Thing on my favourite posters.
Yeah.
I would have wanted this with more colour. I got it done a while ago, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The only problem is I love that image so much that it's always hidden though, because it's at the back of my arm.
Yeah.
No one can see it, like. But one of the first tattoos I got was John Carpenter's The Thing, and I had to get that iconic image. But I would say John Carpenter is the first time I became aware of a creator, because I had already seen a few of his films and I didn't know that the same guy had made them. A lot of them, I was like, Kurt Russell's in this movie, I want to watch it. And then finding out that 4 of the movies I loved with him in, John Carpenter directed them. And then discovering his other works then, like Prince of Darkness, They Live, The Fog. It's my earliest memory of movies and getting into horror is John Carpenter. And I just grew up idolising this guy.
I got to say, like, I would love to see a list of all, like, the stars and see, like, the levels. Like, Gal Gadot is obviously a very modern person now and she's got a star. But how can it take so long for this guy? I mean, it's better late than never. He's getting old now. He could die any second now, you know.
No, he's alive and kicking.
He doesn't look like I think he's not in a wheelchair, is he? He's just sitting down.
No, he's not in a wheelchair. My thing with... I've completely lost my trail of thought now, what I was going to say. Carry on with what you were saying. It'll come back round.
Anyway, no, I was done. But yeah, this guy is a pure legend. Look,
that's what I was going to say. Sorry.
Even if you had just done The Thing and Halloween, that would have been done. That'd still be a mic drop.
100%. My thing with John Carpenter is that obviously as hardcore horror fans, everybody knows who John Carpenter is. The problem is that while he was alive and kicking, and I mean when he had a career, he wasn't appreciated as much, right? So you obviously had his hardcore fan base from the start. You're going back to Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween, all his early movies. You had the hardcore fan base, but he was a cult director, you know, he had that underground cult following. And I think only in the last few years, or maybe 10, 20 years, I don't know, 10 years, 15, he's become a bigger name, more synonymous with the movies that he's made. And I feel like as of only recently, he started to become a true icon. And in terms of a household name, do you know what I mean? I may be way off there, guys. That's just my thinking about.
No, you're right.
On it, you know?
It's a kind of a shame that he never got the sort of status, like Hollywood recognition, like Sam Raimi's got or Peter Jackson's got. They all cut their teeth in the same sort of low budget horrors. Even like, I suppose, Wes Craven, he was massive. I suppose Scream got him massive. But Sam Raimi obviously does blockbusters, same as Peter Jackson. But yeah, he has become a cult director now, and I'm glad he's been appreciated, you know, even if it's a bit too late.
Oh yeah, and like his true passion is music as well, and the music that he brings to his films. You know, there's a story where they did a test screening of Halloween and nobody reacted to it, right? Nobody had anything great to say about the movie in terms of how it made them feel or how much it scared them.
Yeah.
And apparently he went away and he wrote that score, the famous Halloween score, re-edited the film, put the score over it in all the right places, and they did another test screening and they absolutely flipped for it. And that's when obviously he knew we had them, and John Carpenter had to do the score for almost all his movies.